thank God that God has chosen me to talk to you. First, I would like to discuss the power of prayer. It is so important that we begin our day with prayer. Through prayer, we are protected through the day, through all hurt, harm, and danger. We will be able to discern the spirit of evil. If you resist the devil, you will have power over the devil. You hear me? And guess what? You don't have to flee. He will flee from you. That's James 4:7. Therefore, you must submit yourself to God, not to man. Submit yourself to God. When you read the word, it will strengthen your body, soul, and mind. You won't yield to temptation. Prayer is our strongest weapon. You hear me? Pray. If you can get to prayer, if you start off your day with prayer, in the morning, pray. During the day, pray. At night, pray. I guarantee you God will lift you up when people trying to push you down. God will make a way for you out of no grave. When you go against strong powers and delusion, you have to fast along with prayer. Don't be mistaken by the tricks of the devil, because he has all kinds of tricks that he'll throw at you. Then you got to position yourself for prayer. How do I position myself for prayer? I'm going to tell you. First, when you wake up in the morning, anoint yourself with oil and pray. Sanctify your thoughts and mind. When you wake up, get all foolishness off your mind. Stop worrying about what's going to happen in the day when the day you haven't gotten to that point yet. Just walk in the way of the Lord. And God will continuously, he will guide you and lead you. When the enemy is in the way, trying to hinder you, trying to stop you, on your job, in your car, wherever you may go, God will step in when you pray. Meditate on the Lord day and night. His delight is in the Lord. Psalms 1 and 2 says, we must humble ourselves at the mighty hands of God, that he may exalt us. Don't try to exalt yourself. God will do this. In due time, God will exalt you. If you stay humble, don't try to lift yourself up. Try to prove to nobody, who are you? Whose are you? If you live the life, they'll know who you are. They will treat you as such. 1 Peter 5 and 6. When we begin to pray, we must recognize God. Trust and believe his word. God has a word for the women, but we must seek it out through reading of his word. See, I don't have to tell you everything that's in the book for us women. If you get in your word, God will tell you. He'll tell you what to do. He'll tell you what to put on. He'll tell you what to put on. He'll tell you who to talk to. He'll tell you how to treat your husband. He'll tell you how to raise your children. God will do it. Nobody don't have to do it. Just let God. Just let God. So women, do it the way God say do it. As I said earlier, I know sometimes people wondering why I cover my head. You see, you don't have to be ashamed to tell it. I'm not ashamed to tell it. See, what's for me may not be for you. But the reason God spoke to me about covering my head I was on my job. I was having problems, and I was fought every day with the job that I had. And the Lord spoke to me and said, how can you pray to me with your head uncovered? Say your head needs to be covered. Now that's when he spoke to me. I'm talking about me. That began with me covering my head. I began to find me some fancy little caps, and I walked in that job with God on my side, saying, good morning, everybody. How you doing today? I was there 30 years, and God kept me until retirement. So I know what God will do. Guess what? He made my enemy my footstool. Every time she did something against me, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you something that what God will do. I was at the job. God will speak to me. He says, look at her computer. I looked. He said, draw close. When I walked to the computer, I saw my name. She was typing on the boss, and she said, she came in 5 minutes late. Her husband came in, and he sat down and talked to her 10 minutes. When he left, he went out and brought her some snack. She had everything written down. She got up and went to the bathroom. The Lord said, take a picture. I took a picture of it. I sent it to my computer. I have that today. Guess what? My boss came to me and said, you know, she's been saying some things about you, but don't worry. I know you. When you were late, you always let me know. Yes, your husband worked here, and he can come here. Not knowing that I knew everything that was going on. So what I'm trying to tell you, when you pray, when you put God up front, God will shield. God will protect you. God will guide and lead. I want to be positioned that if God tells me to prophesy, my head is covered. He says in 1 Corinthians 11, 5 and 6. So I want my head covered because if God get ready to speak to me and I need to speak to somebody, I want to be in the will of the Lord. Truly, I thank God because the importance now of prayer. A man or a woman must pray at all times and not depend. Luke 18 and 1. The devil is like a roaring lion, seeing who he can devour. 1 Peter 4 and 8. Without prayer, we become weak. And the enemy will entice you to do anything. That's why we must pray daily. Meditate and talk to God. My pastor always says, more prayer, more power. No prayer, no power. Can I say that again? Yes. More prayer, more power. No prayer, no power. When the devil come along, you let him handcuff. You'll be like Bishop of this morning preaching. You will have to change them. And won't be able to break away. You can conquer the devil with all his tactics and tricks. You won't yield to his temptation. You will think before you do wrong. See, if you keep praying, you will think before you just do something that's out of God's character. Watch and pray that we enter not into temptation. Matthew 26 and 4. When you pray and fast, God will cover you in righteousness. You hear me? If you pray and fast, God will cover you. There is no temptation taken, but as such is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above all ye are able, but with temptation will make a way to escape. You hear me? When the temptation come around, God will make the way for you to escape, that you may be able to bear it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. I just come today just to share a little bit with you that through this journey, not only me, but we all going to need prayer. I thank God for you believing in me enough that you feel that I was fit to be your general mother. And I looked up what general was, and it's not just a certain. So that means I'm your mother.
All right.
I'm your mother.
Yeah.
I'm your mother. I'm your mother. Brother CC sat back there looking like your daddy laughing. I got to call you out, but I'm everybody. This pastor. I'm your mother.
All right.
And guess what? A mother loves their children.
That's right.
A real mother loves their children. They ain't going to talk about it. They're not going to be behind your back trying to do little sneaky things again.
Come on
They're
now.
not going to be pushed. My job now is great. Because Bishop Reed, I got to pray for you, not yours. I got to spend time praying for you. Bishop Garcia, I got to spend time praying for you. Elder Mitchell, it's not just because Bishop is a bishop and because he's our state overseer. I got to spend more time not calling your name before God. Because I need to pray for you too. Elder Fleming, I'm going to pray for you too. I heard you say that you took a look over your life and things has changed. The last time I heard you speak, things were changing. Yes, things need to change in everybody's life. We need to grow closer to one another. Not to talk, but we need to grow close that we can be a helper to one another. If somebody say something about Elder Fleming, I want to be a woman enough to say, no, let's not go there. Where you might see he's wrong, he might not be wrong. So don't put judgment on him. I'm just calling your name out, Elder Fleming. It's nothing against you, all right? But I thank God that I will be everybody's mother. And I want to treat you as you my children. I want to talk to you in a way that I will respect you and you will respect me. I want the love to continue. So I say to you in my conclusion, wife, love your husband. Pray for them at all times. You that don't have a husband, pray for your pastor. Because he's like a husband to you. He's watching over the whole flock. Be an intercessor for him before God. Husband, love your wife.
Amen.
Treat them like the queen that they are. Because women, we are queens. Men, we are queens. Because you're a king. You're a king of our life.
Amen.
So I want you to treat these women like they are queens.
Yes.
At all times.
Oh.
Love children, love, and obey your parents. Ephesians 6:1. Do as your parents tell you. I know sometimes you get a little teenager, you feel like you got it now. But you were just beginning in life. For trouble. Because trouble is lurking everywhere. Let us all love the Lord and obey his word. with our heart, soul, and mind.
Yeah.
Matthew 22:37. My message to you, as your general mother, I delight in the Lord. And I promise you that I will live a holy and sanctified life.
Lord.
In closing, my message will always be prayer. Because I know prayer will fix it every time.
Amen.
Thank you for listening. Continue to keep me in your prayer.